You spot a fast little bug shoot across your bathroom floor at 11 p.m., and something in your gut just tightens. Here's the thing. That one bug isn't the problem. It's a signal. And most people completely miss what it's actually pointing to. Because certain bugs only show up inside your home when moisture is already there. They're not random. They're your house sending you an alarm. And your brain picks up on that alarm whether you consciously recognize it or not. Here's just a taste of what that means. A silverfish can survive almost anywhere, except dry air. If you're seeing them regularly, your home's humidity has already crossed a specific threshold. We're getting to exactly what that threshold is in a second. And the first bug on this list is probably in your house right now. Let's go. Okay, first up, silverfish. Those little silver, torpedo-shaped things that move like they're sprinting for their life. Disgusting, right? We'll get to why your brain reacts that way in a minute, because that reaction is actually more important than you think. But here's what silverfish are telling you. They need humidity between 75 and 95% to survive and breed. The moment your home hits that range, in your bathroom, your basement, under a sink, they move in. And they don't leave on their own. So if you're spotting silverfish regularly, something in your home is wet. Could be a slow pipe leak, poor ventilation, water seeping through the foundation. But something is off, something you can't see yet. Now here's where the psychology comes in. And this is the part nobody really talks about. You'd think bugs would just be an annoyance. But research in disgust psychology shows something way more interesting. That deep, visceral, get it away from me feeling you get when you see a bug crawling across your floor, that's actually one of the oldest survival instincts your brain has. Scientists call it the behavioral immune system, and it's been wired into human brains for tens of thousands of years. Your ancestors who felt strong disgust at bugs, mold, decay, they survived more often, because those things genuinely did signal danger. So when you see a silverfish and your skin crawls, your brain isn't overreacting. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. But here's the twist, and this is where it gets interesting. That same disgust response can actually work against you, because when the feeling is strong enough, a lot of people avoid the problem instead of facing it. They see a bug, they get grossed out, they squash it and try to forget about it. The moisture issue underneath? It keeps growing, quietly, for months. If this is already clicking for you, drop a like. It genuinely helps this reach more people. Let's talk about another bug that should immediately get your attention. Centipedes. Now, how centipedes get a bad rap? All those legs, that creepy speed, your brain puts them in the absolutely not category instantly. But here's what most people don't know. House centipedes don't eat your furniture, your food, or your walls. They eat other bugs. Which means if you have centipedes, you have a bug population they're actively feeding on. And that bug population loves moisture. Centipedes themselves also need damp, cool environments to stay hydrated. So seeing one inside your home is basically a double alarm. You've got moisture, and you've got a whole micro-ecosystem developing inside your walls that you can't see yet. And here's where it gets even darker, because there's a third bug that most homeowners completely misread. Pill bugs. You know them? Those little armadillo-shaped things that roll into a ball when you touch them? Most people assume they wandered in from outside by accident. Totally harmless, totally temporary. Wrong. Pill bugs, also called roly-polies, are technically crustaceans, like tiny shrimp. Not insects at all. And unlike most bugs, they actually need moisture to breathe. Their bodies dry out incredibly fast. So if a pill bug is living inside your home, in your basement, crawl space, or garage, it's because the environment is wet enough to sustain them. That's not a casual visit. That's them telling you, this place is as damp as the outside right now. That's a foundation issue, a drainage issue, or both. Quick question. Have you ever spotted any of these bugs in your home? Tell me below. I'm genuinely curious how many people have seen these and never connected the dots. There's one more bug I want to cover before we get to what you actually do about all this. And this one surprises almost everyone. Fungus gnats. You probably think of these as plant bugs, those tiny, annoying little flies hovering around your potted soil. And yeah, overwatered plants are one source. But if you're seeing them in rooms with no plants at all, that's a much bigger red flag. Fungus gnats lay their eggs in moist organic material. Soil, yes, but also rotting wood, wet drywall, mold colonies growing inside your walls that you haven't found yet. So if you're seeing fungus gnats swarming near a window or along a specific wall, and there are zero plants nearby, There may be moisture-damaged material hidden right behind that wall. Silent, growing, already causing damage you can't see from the outside. And here's the psychological piece that ties all of this together, and honestly, this one kind of blew my mind. There's a concept in psychology called thin slicing. It's when your brain makes a remarkably accurate judgment from just a tiny sliver of information, faster than conscious thought can even catch up. Researchers have studied it for decades. Malcolm Gladwell wrote a whole book on it. Here's what's fascinating about it in this context. When you walk into a room and feel like something is just off, a little damp, a little stale, and then you spot a bug, your brain has already done the math. It connected the humidity level, the faint smell, the visual cue, and it sent you a signal before you could put it into words. That gut drop you felt? That wasn't irrational anxiety. That was accuracy. Your instincts were running a moisture inspection before your conscious mind even started asking questions. So what do you actually do when you start seeing these bugs? Because this is where most people get it completely wrong. The instinct is to grab a can of bug spray and call it done. Kill the bug. Problem solved. Move on. But remember what we said at the beginning. The bug isn't the problem. The moisture is. Killing the bug without fixing the moisture is like turning off a smoke alarm without putting out the fire. Everything goes quiet. The damage keeps going. Here's what actually works. Start by finding the moisture source. Check under sinks, behind toilets, around your water heater. Run your hand along walls and baseboards near where you're seeing bugs. Feel for soft spots, swelling, any slight discoloration. Pick up a cheap hygrometer, that's just a small humidity sensor, and check the air in different rooms. Anything consistently above 60% is a problem zone. Run a dehumidifier in your basement and bathrooms. Fix leaks and drips right away, even if they seem minor. And if you're seeing multiple bug types at once, centipedes and silverfish together, or fungus gnats and pill bugs in the same space, that combination is a sign the issue is big enough to call in a professional before it reaches your structure. But here's what I really want you to take away from all of this, because it goes deeper than bugs. Remember that 11 p.m. moment at the very start? That one bug on the floor and the stomach drop that followed? That wasn't you being dramatic. That wasn't an overreaction. Your behavioral immune system, that ancient, hardwired disgust response built over thousands of years of human survival, it was doing its job. It was pointing you toward a real problem, one that most people dismiss, ignore, or spray away until the damage is visible, or until it's expensive. The bugs were never the issue. The bugs were the message. And your gut knew something was wrong before your brain had a single word for it. Psychology and your home aren't as separate as you think. Your instincts are smarter than you've been giving them credit for. If this changed the way you see your own gut reactions, subscribe. Next week, we're going deeper into the ways your instincts are more accurate than you've been told your whole life. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one.